Understanding the principle of our traditional marriage. Marriage is not a Christian practice. Christianity or religion does not own the ministry of marriage. Marriage had been there from the beginning of creation, and Christianity is just about 500 years ago. I am saying this because there has been an attack on our traditional marriage practices to the point that most people no longer has value for it. And most of the Christians that wants to engage into it, they are disrupting the entire processes. Sometimes they will say drinking of palm wine, their denomination or their church does not permit it. Therefore, they prefer using English wine for such practice without understanding the meaning of that palm wine that is being used during traditional marriage. Now, listen very carefully. I want you to understand the meaning and the ritual that is involved. Now, it is always done in the compound of the bride's father, where the bride's father will pour palm wine into a cup, hand it over to the daughter, go and show us your husband. And at that process, know you that both the living and the dead are present. The ancestors, they are also there. Show all of us who your groom is. And she will carry this drink, search for the groom within the crowd. And once she finds this groom, she will kneel down. Now listen very carefully so that you understand this ritual. She will kneel down because in our tradition, we are made to understand that palm wine runs from the roots of the palm tree before it will be harvested. That is where we get it from the ground. Now she will kneel down, placing her nails on the ground. The meaning is that before the living and the dead present in this place, I am making this vow that you are my husband. That if I go contrary to this vow, let the land judge me. And she would have to a taste of that palm wine. Then she will hand the palm wine over to the groom. The groom will receive it from her, holding her at the back and taking the entire content. Meaning the vow you have taken before the living and the dead, same I have taken. And after this is done, mind you, that is why you see people suffering from different ailments, different like stroke. Stroke is one of the problems that it brings. If a woman goes contrary, maybe falling to infidelity, one, you must not cook, even if your husband is not aware of it. You must not cook for your husband or take money from the another man to prepare something or buy something for your husband. If that is done, the man himself would, in some places, the man will die. In some places, the man will fall to certain ailments that will have no cure, except the cause of it is found and certain things is performed or certain rituals is performed before the man can be free from such. And the woman herself would be having some series of sicknesses or some most times stroke. That stroke means that the land has judged her. She will have to be seated on the ground permanently. And sometimes, in most places, it results to madness. Yes. This is why in those days, if two couples have undergone through this process, there are things that is always known to be upheld in such marriage. One, our fathers barely divorce their wives because if you do, the punishment is also there for you, for the man. If a woman is found not worthy again in that marriage, the man will have to go and bring another wife into the family. And it is an insult to the original wife. So you should know it that it is not only in the area of sexual satisfaction that a man takes more than one wife. Our fathers take more than one wife mostly for either for more children or for as a punishment to the woman, to their wives. So I want you to get rid of that mentality that marriage is a Christian practice. Yes, I'm not criticizing white marriage, but you should also understand that white marriage simply means white man's traditional marriage. So it should not take over our marriage. And in the white men practice their marriage, they can go on break. They can decide to divorce to after the marriage. The next day they can decide to divorce. Yes. Sometimes they go on contract. That is their practice. That is the way they do it there. So we have only adopted their traditional pattern of marriage, discarding ours, and it is very wrong. That is why these days you see marriages being broken. Even pastors are divorcing, preachers are divorcing, prophets are divorcing. It you can see it. Our fathers never divorced, but today that we have chosen the white wedding. Pastors are divorcing today. Prophets are divorcing, and it is becoming a norm in the society. It is becoming a norm. We are like adopting every culture of the white, while our own culture that had kept us till this day is being overlooked, discarded. So you see, in many families today, most couples make their pastors the head of their marriage. That every report, every complaint is taken to the pastor only because they believe that marriage is a Christian thing. Marriage isn't a Christian thing. It has been there. I want you to understand that today. It has been there from time immemorial before Christianity came. Christianity was just about 2,000 years ago, but marriage has been there millions of years ago. The missionaries, they brought this white marriage to us. This is one of the commodities they brought to us, and we are being drowned into that poison. Look at it. Homes are being broken every day. Pastors are divorcing. Is it not so shameful? But look at the traditional practice worshippers. They barely can divorce. They hardly can divorce because they understand the mystery of marriage. Thank you so much. Help us share this video and drop your comment in the comment section.